Okay, students, it's finally time to get it really dangerous in here by combining our moving enemies with our shooting enemies. So I'm starting here with enemy shoot S1, which is the enemy we made earlier that just shoots straight ahead of itself. It has shoot, and then it has a bullet spawn, and it shoots. And then I'm also going to use Patrol 1, which is this guy who moves in the triangle. So here's enemy Patrol 1. We had our simple array, and then it moves in a pattern, and then it changes where it's going. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to duplicate, rather than parent, enemy Patrol. Because I like to start with the moving enemies and then add shooting to them, instead of starting with a shooting enemy and adding movement to it. So I'm going to duplicate enemy Patrol 1. And I'm going to rename this guy Patrol and Shoot. So this is now enemy Patrol and Shoot. And the only thing we're really missing, if we look at our S1 up here, is this bullet spawn. So I'm going to go to the viewport. I'm going to go ahead and create, attached to the mesh here, one more scene component. And I'm going to call it bullet spawn. And what's really nice is if I call it exactly the same thing, then I can copy code right in. Now, I'm going to cycle my transform gizmo here just a little bit so that I go to world view. I'm going to pull this guy out, the bullet spawn, I mean, out of the front so that our bullet spawns here on red, because we know that our guy treats that as his front. And in the event graph, what I could do is if I wanted it to do it like part of the movement sequence, I could have it shoot the bullet when it moves. I could also shoot the bullet when the delay happens, so it delays a second and then it changes its patrol point. So this would probably be a good place to put the shoot as well, and we can experiment with that. But what I'm actually just going to do is look at our enemy shoot. And I'm going to grab the... Actually, this one, shoot. I'm going to grab the whole custom shoot event and bring it in. So into patrol and shoot, I'm going to paste it. I'm just going to put it over here. Now we have a couple options. Because this is a custom event, and it relates to bullet spawn, and we have a bullet spawn, so that should all work. We just need to decide when to do the custom event. Well, the easiest, we could just call it here, shoot. Now, the other thing that I'm going to potentially give you as a suggestion, instead of waiting for, its 1 second delay, is you could make the shooting totally unrelated to the movement. You could come up here, and much like we did with shoot S1, you can just get a set timer by event. So I'm going to go into our patrol and shoot. I'm going to do the same thing here. Set timer by event. And I have to set how often it should shoot. Our other guy shoots 0.75 and loops. But it doesn't have an event right now because I would connect it. And I don't want it to happen right now. So I'm going to leave it for now. Let's just see how this guy does on his own. And I'm going to remove some of the ones in here that have been sort of in the way. So let's get patrol and shoot. And make sure that this guy's locations are outside of him. They are, so this guy does a triangle like this. Let's hit play. So he's currently shooting to the upper right-hand corner, it looks like, every time he moves. And sometimes it looks like that bullet is perhaps inside of him. I'm going to try to move him up a little bit. And we will see. I'm also going to do something we did in one of our later bullets here, and I'm just going to scale the size. Set world scale. So here I'm just going to make, this is more for testing purposes, set world scale of the projectile mesh. And this is so that we can see it a little better. I'm just going to make his bullet, let's make it 3 times bigger. This is a little silly bullet size-wise, but I want to make it big enough that we can see it real good. All right. Oh, added that to the wrong guy, huh? This is your problem with having too many things open at once. Added that to our normal shoot and not to patrol and shoot. Sorry, everybody. All right, let's see if we can see his bullet a little better. It's too big now. It's probably spawning inside of him. It also feels like this is, if you remember when I did the shoot enemies earlier, I sort of unrotated our dude here. Just because it's going to make our code cleaner. And later you'll be replacing likely with your own shape anyway. So now we can see the enemy meshes here. Aha! And his X is this way. So let's move the bullet spawn to a location that makes a little more sense. Let's see here. Can I go 0, 0, 0? There we go. Let's pull you out to like here. All right, let's see how he does now. Okay, so he's moving in his triangle, and it's delaying 1 second, and it only seems to be shooting at the end of that last one. So let's have a look. Ah, yes, because I put it at the very end, so it only happens when the final condition is true. So this guy needed to go back in here after the ++, not the branch. So he should now shoot 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You can see he has this very large bullet. All right, now he's just facing the wrong way. So now he's shooting forward at us. Now, much like we did when we made our other type of shooting enemy, the one that looks at us, I can literally just duplicate this guy and call this one patrol and shoot L. Because this one is going to shoot at us. Now, let's look at our existing enemy shoots that looks at us. And its code is basically the same here. It just has this different bit. It sets the actor rotation right beforehand. So we can grab this code and come into enemy patrol and shoot L and paste it. And it goes right here before the shoot because we have to make sure that the enemy is looking at us. And then it will shoot. I'm going to move this a little farther over again. Or over here. So this guy should be pretty deadly because he ends up being hard for us to hit, as well as being like aiming at us constantly. What's nice about this one is I have it pointing at the front, so he should be shooting away from me, but because of the look at code, he should look at us and do his little triangle anyway. Yep. So he's going to, he looks at wherever we are, and he's still moving to his locations. The final and most dangerous of these that we can make, I'm going to go ahead and remove this guy here, is we can take the chase enemy that we have that chases us down. and duplicate him and make it enemy, chase, and shoot. Now, our chase code is pretty simple. It already finds the distance between, and then it moves towards us. We can directly after that, because we're constantly getting this update, have it shoot at us. Now, I would be advised to have shoot be its own separate mechanic, because the move to updates right now every 1/8 of a second. And so firing 8 bullets a second seems pretty wild, but you could do that. I'm just going to go ahead and we need to take our new enemy, chase and shoot, and it needs, as usual here, its scene component. I'm going to unrotate these decorations and add a scene component. Call it bullet spawn. Move this guy out on the red end. And then I'm going to copy the move and shoot look command, start to finish, and paste it in here. So here's our new shoot command. And this one even comes with the extra big bullets. I'm going to scale those back down a little bit. And we don't need the material set to ground. It can just be a red bullet. But it still gets the world transform. It still looks at us, and we have the shoot event. I would come up here and set another timer right at the start. Set timer by, let's say, event. And I'm going to say it shoots at us every 1 second. And it is looping. And we can just attach this event if we want from here on the red square to here. Or we could use set timer by function name. Now what's nice is this happens right on begin play, and it sets it up. And even though we are not... now, the downside here is he only moves us when we're in range. So we probably want to add this bit of code, this range check code, to our shoot event. Because otherwise, he's going to shoot at us wherever he is in the world. So I'm going to pull this guy way over here. And I'm just going to copy this thing we already made, because this code works, and we already made it. And this is just the code that checks to see, hey, are you within 1,000 of me? Then I will shoot at you. All right, let's compile this and put our really dangerous dude in here, chase and shoot. And hit play. And he is going to follow me around. Every second, he will re-aim to chase at me and shoot. If I move in a straight line, he'll really get me. All right. So those are the different ways we can combine our existing shooting and chasing and moving enemies to make much more complicated and dangerous foes.